Welcome to
Shade in the
City. I'm your girl, Cheeks.
It's Nose.
And we are back together in
As
the
you
Shade
can
in the
see.
City den. And thank you guys for joining us. If you have not already, please hit that like button.
And the subscribe button.
And we are getting into Married at First Sight Reunion, part 1, y'all. And you know we've been waiting. And we're going to be timely. And we're going to get this out to y'all so y'all can talk shit. Just like we talking shit. And we're going to talk shit together.
We're going to talk our shit.
Right. So, yeah, y'all. Back together in the cellar, in the den, whatever you want to call it. And let's get into it.
In the basement.
In the basement, whatever you want to call it. Let's get shady.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Yeah, what do you got? Yeah.
Okay, so, each couple is sitting down with Kevin Frazier, who is the host of the reunion.
And Kevin, shout out. You were an amazing host. We were actually just talking about that on camera.
You were.
How you held everybody's feet to the fire. And I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so he is ready to jump right in and get to everything. And basically, Kevin asked how they felt after watching themselves on TV. Nate says that it was an eye-opener and he was able to see some blind spots and feels that, he could have definitely got more vulnerable and pushed a little bit harder. And it was a learning experience. Kristen says she over enunciates, while Alexis says that she under enunciates. And it was super humbling for her. I think, what did she say?
She said it's celibate, not celibate.
Yeah.
And I didn't even catch that. She was like, captions work wonders, y'all. Captions work.
I might have seen it, but thought the caption had it wrong.
Right. Because sometimes the captions be wrong. So, Alexis, in your favor, the fact that you caught that, or they messed it up and you still took credit.
She's like, you know what? I did for damn sure say bent rather than bit or bait. Miguel says that he learned a lot of things he can improve on. And it was a lot of things that Lindy had actually told him, but of course he was too hearted to take it to heart. Now Justin says also that it was an eye-opener for him as well.
Because he realized he cried too much.
He a crybaby. And Alexis says that, it says that basically Alexis held it down. She was like his human Kleenex. So Kevin says that he wants to start with something fun, like the poster children for sex.
Nate
Sasha and Nate. And they go through a lot of hot scenes together while the rest of the cast seems like to be blushing. They're like, what the fuck? We didn't even see all of this. The swing scene, the going under the covers, getting between her legs scene. All they saw was her coochie buzzing. Okay. They ain't really see nothing else. So the cast is like, what in all the fuck? Stasha says that they were just trying to, go with the flow and have fun and be open, comfortable,
spontaneous,
right? And Alexis said, look, I know a good time when I see it. I knew something was going on over there. I just didn't know what the hell it was. And, Sasha says that
how did Alexis see it when she don't believe in toys?
She just said she know a good time. She just knew something was going on.
Okay.
And she says that basically Sasha was like eating weird. She's like leaning over the table to eat.
She was
shit like that.
She was eating over the table, not on the table, but over the table.
Now, Nate says the vibrator actually broke.
So he says, they show him footage trying to press the remote, and I don't know.
Sasha says that she was screaming for like 15, 20 minutes. Like she was like at this point, like she was numb. Kevin asked, did it also show them how perfect of a match they were? Because, they kind of had like sexual freedom. And they both agreed that it did. They said that they were comfortable. They were also attracted to each other and just had like a dynamic of them being in the element. Kevin asked who is not on good terms and what the fuck was that for?
And it was a trap.
So he calls out Justin for smiling. And Justin's like, yo, I'm always smiling. Okay. That don't mean shit. Like,
But Justin got some shit with him.
Nate says, absolutely. Justin unfollowed a bunch of people. And Justin says that he unfollowed everyone. He tells Nate that he blocks him because he's two different people and he's not his cup of tea, and tells him that he's fake. As an example, Justin tells him that they were living in the community and they made a bond that they would be there for each other. And Nate told him that his dad raised him a certain way, not to be in people's business. But when it came to Morgan and Ben, he was all up in their business. And tells him basically like he picks and chooses when he want to get involved. And Nate says he doesn't go looking to be somebody's therapist. But, you know, if you come talk to him, like he got you. And he feels that, you know, like the fact that Justin feels some type of way about it, he feels like it's kind of weird. And tells him that, like, he's just a crybaby. Like, nigga, just relax, get over it. Justin tells him that he made a pass at him twice before the show and that he was hitting on him. When I tell you, this is where shit went motherfucking left.
Everybody said, what you not, that's when you saw that mutable sign.
Let me tell you
that's
something.
When you saw that other fish come out of
Nate's, everybody's face was like, what? But Stasha was just like, like, nigga, that's why you couldn't tell me you love me? He was over there trying to get with Justin. It's like, no, but she was like, hold the fuck up. Nate basically tells him like he is making shit up, and Justin said that he's mad because he's calling him out, and basically, how the fuck you're so mad that I blocked you? Like, nigga, like that's weird. Kevin tells Justin that, you know, banter is banter, but why would you say that he made a pass at you? Justin. Justin says because no man compliments another man 2 days in a row about how nice his skin is and asks him, like, why you want to show like you're such a good looking dude. Nate says basically like he's comfortable in his sexuality. He's not the one crying or worried about other people's relationships. So Justin tells him basically like maybe you need to cry more. And, you know, Nate is like, yeah, you know, maybe I do, but I'm not a crybaby like you. And let me say something. I mean, it was just like something back and forth. Like
it was a lot of bad. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Justin stood up, talking about what you want to do. Like,
no, he said, take that bass out your voice. I said,
oh yeah. So Nate was like, what you gonna do, bro? And Nate is like, he stands up and he's talking about he's gonna fold him. Nate tells him that he's fabricating a story and they can take this outside. And, you know, Stasha trying to calm her boo down. She like, you know, like, boo, calm down, baby.
But she liking it. And look, Alexis is liking it too. Why can't you talk to me like that in the bedroom? I said I wanted a dominant.
Basically.
Where's all that energy when you in the bed?
For real, she might have been turned on for real.
And then everyone talks about, so then Nate, I'm sorry, not Nate, Justin gets up and walks out because he's bitch made, and he gets up and walks out. And then
I feel like security came, like, kind of escorted him out a little bit.
Yeah, and then Alexis comes in. You need to worry about me. No, I'm sorry, you need to worry about you and how I dumped you. Focus on me. Because that's the problem. You were so focused on Ben and everybody else instead of being worried about me in the bedroom. And now we have to get on the stage and talk about you and how you didn't focus on me. So let's remain focused. That's basically what she's saying.
On the fucked up shit I did.
Justin's like, I'm good. I'm here. So I'm regulated. I'm good.
Back on stage, Morgan is basically telling him, like, you know, he's taking low blows because that's all he can do Stasha tells him, like, everybody knows this bullshit. Like, don't even let that shit get to you. And everybody's saying that he's projecting, that Justin is projecting. Kristen
we all know what projection means, right?
Kristen says,
I'm just saying that for everybody to say it like that, but nobody's acting like we don't know what the word means. Okay.
Kristen says that he did unfollow everybody and then follow them all again and then unfollow them all again.
Oh, one time. Two times.
Justin and Alexis come back to the stage, and here go Nate trying to antagonize him, talking about something, but you didn't answer.
You shouldn't answer the question, bro.
And Kevin's like, look, we're not about to do. So then he asked Justin, like, why did you unfollow some of the other people, like Kristen? And Kristen, poor baby, she's just like, yeah, like, why did you unfollow me? Like, you know? And he basically told Kristen to her face she was fake too.
He said that Kristen,
you know what, in front of Alexis versus behind closed doors, and he feel like she fake.
And here's my thing, and don't get me wrong, Nels can tell you, I've said many times, I'm the chihuahua of the group, okay? I'm a protector, but why we worried about shit that they ain't worried about?
You talking about Justin? Mm-hmm. Well, he said she acts different in front of Alexis versus behind closed doors.
What the fuck they got to do with you?
You don't want to be around fake
well, I'm just saying.
So basically he said,
okay, I was just waiting.
So basically he says, you know, like they wasn't for him. And he follows the people that are for him. He says that he also unfollowed Lindy and Morgan because they were all supposed to go hiking together. And instead of them saying like they wasn't comfortable him going, they went without him. And he felt like that was foul.
Or fake. He
said that he unfollowed Stasha mainly because of her husband. There's no beef there, but he don't fuck with Nate, so he unfollowed Stasha. So basically, Nate tells him he does that to everybody. Justin is like, why are you still talking to me? Like, why are you still talking? And Nate tells him that everybody needs clarity. They want to know what the fuck is going on.
I'm that person. Team Pisces, Nate. Team Pisces. Let's get clarity. I don't give a fuck if we got to argue it out. Let's get clarity.
And basically tells him that, like, you really had no reason to unfollow anybody other than the fact that you're in your feelings. So Justin's like, okay, basically that's what it is. If that's what it is, then so be it. Like, now shut the fuck up. Nate is basically like, okay, so I need to know why you called me gay, though. And Justin tells him that he called him gay because the day after the workshop,
it was bullshit.
When they ran into each other, they went to a pizza shop and Nate kept on complimenting him, and you know, like it felt weird. And says that, you know, when they kicked it again, Nate was basically saying the same exact thing. Kevin tells him that I want to make something clear. Basically, you need to understand that one man complimenting another man is not gay. Just like a man complimenting a woman does not mean that you want to have sex with her or marry her. Justin says he appreciates that and he doesn't want to take away from that, but that's how he felt. Nate tells him, like, basically, like, nobody believes you. Okay. And you felt uncomfortable because you're always in your feelings. Now everybody basically suggests that they move on and get on to the next question.
We move on and jump into Kristen and Mitch and their journey and how they ended. Now she lets us know the door is closed and there will be no more Kristen and Mitch sequels over here, okay? Mitch says that he does think that they're amicable. And in that moment, he says that, you know, when we talk about that moment, we talk about how he was upset because they were coming at him at the end. Remember, we talked about it.
And he felt defensive.
So he, you know, felt Kristen was suggesting that he led her on to believe that there might still be hope. And as we said in the last review, we know Mitch did not do that. He made it clear as day. Now, Kevin questions whether he felt ganged up on that night. And he says he did, but understands that he didn't explain himself that well. He asked Alexis about her questioning the leave the door open thing, and if she did that looking out for Kristen. She says that that's exactly why she did it. She said at her root, she is a protector. Maybe that's why they put her with Justin. And Kristen is her friend. So she understands how when in the moment, it's hard to ask the tough questions. I'm going to give her that. And as a third party, she knew it wasn't her business, but she didn't want Kristen to have any false hope. I said, okay. Now, Lindy agrees that they all felt that way. And Mitch acknowledges that Lindy was super pissed. And he didn't help by pussyfooting around it. So Kristen says it was confusing because they had such an amicable decision. And you know, they was trotting off, and they even show footage of them, I guess, talking about still doing it after they had turned each other down. And I said, well, desperation has a sound. Jump into Miguel and Lindy's segment of the show. We reminisce how well they're doing, and you know how there was just a natural and immediate attraction. They confirm they are still together and everything just works. It's just beautiful. It's roses and rainbows and shit. It's going very well. Lindy has moved into Miguel's and she's enjoying making it a little homier, you know, putting her feminine touches on things. Kevin talks about how they were originally concerned Miguel might be too nerdy for her with his Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. But she says she thought it was adorable, actually. And now she plays weekly. I said, oh.
And he was like, she's actually really good at it.
Well, there is somebody for everybody. Now, Kevin, basically the couples retreat, and he said the first thing he notices is that, you know, they do clearly want this relationship. But he asked Miguel, like, what the hell was going on with you? You know, you were doing the most, as I think I said. I was like, you were a little bit much. And he said he was mentally, physically, and emotionally drained. He said he needed her to help him recharge. Lindy said people forget they were so new at that point, and that's what marriage is about, learning and getting through things together. Kevin brings up the characteristics Miguel said he didn't like about Lindy, such as her negativity, her attention span, you know, all the things that we talked about. And Miguel says he's learning to be more patient and not take it so personally and try to accept her for who she is. Lindy says she has personally been on a journey about growth and feels that she's evolving as a human and it's helping her marriage. We hope so, boo. We hope so. Because as Nels felt, you needed a lot of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin asks if he's had an opportunity to see Lindy on 10 yet. And Miguel admits he has. Lindy says that she's gotten better, but still knows that she can be a lot. And they apparently have figured out warning signs. As things are escalating, she warns him and gives him pre-warning, like, I'm mad. I'm madder. Oh, bitch, I'm about to get shit up. So I was like, okay, well, I guess as long as that works for y'all. It's still, and what did Dr. Pepper call it? Explosive behavior. Lindy says that she doesn't want to be angry or reactive, and she wants to work through all of her mess because we know she needs to work through. And then we bring up the last name discussion, y'all. And we know this was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
He asked, you know, how Miguel feels about him. I mean, now Miguel was like, you know, it's important to him. He feels like his wife should have his last name. So we learned that Lindy has taken it upon herself to hyphenate and take on Miguel's last name. So she is now Lindy Eloise Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she actually surprised him with the name change and just felt like it was something that they should do. She feels more secure, and they've been so consistent and rock solid. So it just seemed like the natural next step. Now Kevin brings up the challenges with McGindy. And Lindy says that, you know, she would cherish and adore their human baby, but if she could have tossed out that robot baby, she would have. Now, Miguel says he felt it was symbolic of their future because he knows they both want children. And Lindy says she liked seeing Miguel with McGindy. They say they are planning children about a year after they move into their first home. And Kevin asked Lindy when she would be ready to start on children. And she says, tonight. So then we talk about Miguel and how he was so iffy in the beginning and how Lindy was all in, as we know, and that was a constant back and forth with him. Miguel said he realized it was a little callous, but he wanted to be sure how he really felt about her. Lindy says after their couples retreat debacle, she felt the fact that they were able to get past it gives her hope for their future because that's what marriage is. He then asked about her feelings about Miguel's reaction. And, you know, she said that she's learned that sometimes she has to step up and be there for him as well as he does for her. And she says she now that she realizes that, she's better equipped to handle it should it happen again. So I was like, okay, we're learning, we're growing. Good job, Lindy. She does seem a little bit more, and I always hear that, seeing yourself on TV and how other people might view you makes you kind of, so maybe there was some self-reflection there, but I do feel like this was a more mature, more just the way, even the way she was speaking, carrying herself. So I hopefully she is doing the work and has learned some things about herself.
Next is Nate and Stasha. Kevin tells him that he feels like they had an instant connection as well and asked Nate how he felt.
That's how it is with most Pisces. It's instantaneous, you know? Just there.
It was there on his end.
She wanted it.
There wasn't an instant connection on her end.
That's what she said. She was feeling him.
She thought it was cute.
He's fresh, exciting.
Anyways.
It's so exciting to me.
So he asked him how he felt when he looked down the aisle and saw his wife, and he says that he was instantly attracted. He loved the way she carried herself because she does that very well. He was just super impressed. Stasha says she was terrified. She was walking down the aisle, couldn't even hold her head up. But Stasha, you know,
do your thing, don't be scared.
But she was like, you know, she wasn't getting no bird calls from her family, so she felt like it might have been okay.
What happened to that boy?
Now Kevin asked if they are still together. Stasha lets us know that they are. Nate says that he moved in, and Stasha says, you know, they're doing the back and forth thing, that they do a few weeks at each other's places. He says that he's back and forth until his lease is up, which is in about 8 more months. So Kevin is like, 8 months? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, why? Now, he does say that he is still a little bit uncomfortable moving into her place full time because he's out of his comfort zone. You know, he lives in downtown San Diego and she lives in the suburbs. So it's a small adjustment, but he says, you know, he is warming up to it. Stasha says she's trying to be supportive and make him feel comfortable as long as they're together in the same home. It's not really a big deal. She doesn't really care where they live.
Right.
As long as they together. I said, oh, all right, Stasha. Now, Kevin asked what made him feel so comfortable with Stasha. And Nate says, although it sounds cliche, she's everything I asked for. She's nurturing, independent, and responsible.
He said, I would be so comfortable with you.
Oh, that's my song, girl.
I'm sorry.
And he basically says, like, how could I not be attracted to that? Like, I would be crazy.
Right.
Stasha says that she was very excited to have met her equal because she thought they weren't going to find anybody for her. And when she met him, it was instant chemistry. They had the same vision. He has ambition. And that's what she asked for. Sasha says that she was going into this open and ready, okay? And felt like, you know, they were moving slow. And she feels like when you do that, you're not really able to get the true essence of who they are unless you're all in. And so she was looking for an emotional and mental connection. And basically, she didn't get that. She felt like it was just surface.
Right.
And she was like, you know, what she said, she was like, he's here and I need him to be here.
Okay.
Here. Nate says she's also intense. Okay. And they both have different approaches. He said, but that's like reason for their tension most of the time, because he's a little bit slower in opening up emotionally and she's more resilient. He does say, you know, even though she's a boss, he did realize that she needs attention and he has to tend to that because that's his baby.
Okay.
She was just like, like, yeah.
My little baby, that I'm all work. Hey.
Sasha says that, you know, they're going through some hurdles, but they're doing well. They're doing much better with their communication and they're compromising, and says that they work great as a team. And they continue to have the hard discussions, but they can always work on opening up some more, being more vulnerable, and connecting on a more emotional level. Kevin asked Sasha if she feels like she's getting more from Nate. And she said she's getting more than she was.
Right, but it's not enough. It's never enough.
And then he asked her if she's getting what she wants. And she says no. She wants more emotional and mental stimulation. She says she also wants to understand his point of view. And she understands that it takes time for him. And, you know, he has to feel safe in order to be able to open up and not feel judged. And she felt like, you know, she's providing that. Like, I do this. But, you know, she also understands that they're only months in and she has to, you know, give him that. Now, Kevin asked if she's gotten better with relinquishing control. Nathan said, hell.
Hell to the no.
Hell
to the no.
He said, you know, she'll ask me to step up. And I'm like, all right, I got it. I'm going to cook dinner. And he was like, she be creeping up behind me, trying to micromanage.
What I call hovering. Hovering. It happens in my house too.
Now, she said that she does do that. But she be catching herself, you know what I mean? Like, she realized like she need to chill out with that shit. Now, Kevin asked Nate if he finally broke down and said, I love you. They said, absolutely. He says it almost every day. He says his heart is opening up and loving her more every single day. Sasha says it brings her ease and happiness because she knows it's big for him. And it's not something he initially wanted to say unless he meant it. She says she already knew that, you know, he loved her because she could feel it. And basically, you know, on a honeymoon, he kind of told her, like, I feel like I'm falling in love with you. And they kind of tried to cop out of that. He was like, I was just excited. She was like, nigga, I'm trying to help you out here. Okay. I'm trying to help you out. And, you know, they show the footage of him saying it or whatever. And he was like, she was like, I get it. Like, you didn't say I'm in love with you, but nigga, you did say you was falling in love. Okay. And you was doing shit and saying shit. Could it be falling in love with you, baby? We saw some unseen footage where Nate actually surprised Sasha with a DIY selfie wall he wanted to do with her, you know, get some little quality time. It was actually really super cute. Sasha says that she loves those type of gestures and he continues to do things like that. You know, she says,
I missed that whole thing.
Lord only knows. Basically, you know, she says like he'll do little things like get her a card and flowers or pick up her coffee in the morning. Nate says he's waiting for the but because there's always a but. And apparently it's her tone that makes him, you know, kind of feel like it's just like, she's just like, like, yeah, you can do that, but like it's not a big deal. He brings up the fact that he took her jet skiing, axe throwing, and like, you know, like doing things like that. And he don't get no credit. He was like, yeah,
those are all things that you want to do.
Yeah, she's like, you know, those are things that he wants to do. And I mean, I do it because, you know, I want to make him happy and, you know, I'm enjoying myself.
And I will say this, I hate to say it. Me and Nels talk about that often. Men stop doing things just to do them. Pay attention to what we want to do.
If it's for us.
Right. If it's for us. Now, if you just want to plan a date night to do some shit you want to do, oh, French onion on the forehead. Sorry. Again. But if you just want to do some shit because you want to do some shit, that's different. But stop trying to make it about us or try to make it a thing like we wanted to do it when we didn't want to do it. That's not what we wanted to do.
Basically, he said he want his credit. And she says for her, if they have to eat 7 days and he cooks 1, she's just kind of like, okay, yeah, he did. He cooked 1 day.
Right.
but we still got to eat for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like, this is the theme of our relationship. You know, he's like that she's like a moving target. And he can't ever hit it because she's moved. Now, she actually agreed. That she's a moving target. Kevin asked her if she felt satisfied. And she was like, I mean, in certain moments. But yes, I am a moving target because she expects a lot.
Sasha said, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Girl. But, you know, she said that she does have to do better at identifying what he's trying to do and appreciate it and verbalize it. And, you know, Kevin asked where they are as far as children go. And he was like, I'm gonna let you take that over. You got this. Now, she says they ain't nowhere. The conversation ain't go nowhere. She says they're still on maybe a year, but Nate wants to push it out to like 2.5. Nate feels that they have to work on their emotional connection first. So, you know, that he can feel more comfortable.
Because he don't want to have no kids and leave her behind.
Basically having that conversation. Sasha says that they have it, but, you know, it's not consistent. They don't have it on a consistent basis. And she says she needs that.
Well,
yeah, so basically Nate doesn't want to work on no kids.
They might have made it to the reunion, y'all, and we might have been wrong about them, but let me tell you something. I don't know if they're gonna stay together. Kevin asked if he still has feelings for her, and he admits that, you know, he does and always will, and that's why a friendship is important to him. Then Kevin asked if there's a chance to rekindle the romance. Why are we still doing this? We already know the door is not open. The door is shut. The door is molded. The door is falling off the hinges.
And technically it's open.
You're such a dick. So, no. Kristen lets us know that absolutely not. And Mitch lets us know that it's not likely. And then Kristen talks about what did it for her was when Mitch was talking to her sister. And I can understand that because if anybody, I don't know if I could be mad at you about somebody coming to you to talk about me. I don't know if I would be mad at that because you're like my closest confidant. So
it wasn't that he came and talked to her. That's what he said.
But I feel like you would know how to, I think what Mitch, hear me out. If my dude wanted to be able to say something to me, and it may be hard for him to say to me, I could see him saying it to you because even if you might feel like it's, and you're going to tell him it's fucked up, but you're going to find a way that's going to sound better than what the fuck he's going to say to me.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you.
I guess I'm giving you too much credit.
You fucking right. First of all,
I thought you would sugarcoat it to make it sound better.
I would tell him to kiss my ass and kiss yours too, because what you're not about to do is tell my sister you don't want her to wear makeup after telling her that you didn't think she was attractive.
Well, there's that part, y'all.
What you can do is say that you like it more when she doesn't wear makeup. But what you're not about to do is tell her, oh no, can you tell me how I can tell her not to wear as much makeup? What, so you can be more attracted to her? Is that what you need? Nigga, fuck out of here. Hell no, I would not.
Well, there we have that. So Kevin asked me, didn't he think telling her sister would spiral? And he realizes he was too honest and comfortable in that moment. Kristen talks about how after the retreat, and addressing it, it feels like, you know, because of that, they ended up having a good couples retreat where Mitch says that, well, no, when he was on a retreat, he still had some concerns. So this pisses Kristen off because she's like, so you gonna sit up here and act like we didn't have the time that we had. So we was just acting.
Or you were just acting.
And Mitch finally admits it. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, you're right. We did have a good time. And he was able to see a new side of her that he really liked.
Oh, I thought you were referring to, did I know what my decision was going to be on decision day? And she's like, oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
Right. Thanks for, I was like, I don't know why you want no more from him because, so anyway, Mitch says that he hasn't been dating because he's not good at it. And he realizes that he needs to work on himself. Amen to that. Don't be Don't be talking to nobody else's daughter. And Kristen said she's moved to New York for her job. Okay, Kristen.
Yeah.
And is back in the dating scene. She out here with her old Carrie, Sex in the City. So, Kristen, I'm just saying, you a couple 3-4 hours, you seem like a good time, girl. I'm just saying, if you watch reviews, we'd love to link up with you in New York.
Definitely go out dancing.
Right. We could. I don't know if I want to dance with Kristen.
I definitely do. I definitely want to go out dancing with Kristen.
I do karaoke all day with Kristen.
I want to do both.
I would karaoke like shit with Kristen.
Both. We can
do about Kristen. We're gonna be in your DMs.
We have Morgan and Ben next.
It's so hard.
It really wasn't
to say goodbye.
Because Morgan said,
I'm on some new shit. I'm looking them deuces up.
Exactly. So Kevin mentions in the beginning everything was great. Morgan says she actually thought that, Ben was hot. She was attracted. She says that his body was nice. The connection was there. Kevin gets into why things went south. And, because he questioned her nursing credentials. Ben sets the record straight and says Morgan is a nurse. She gets up early in the morning and saves lives. She is 100% surely a nurse. Okay. Ben says that if he could go back,
but put some respect on that girl name.
Period. Ben says that if he could go back and talk to his wife first before talking to Justin, he absolutely would, and felt like it was an impulsive decision. Morgan says it was a lack of respect for her. Now, Kevin says, after having, the makeup session on the beach, do you genuinely, feel bad? Well, believe that he felt bad. And Morgan says that she does. She believes he felt bad because, he's not a bad person. Ben says that he doesn't even know why, after everything went down, he decided to go talk to Justin again, and says his mind wasn't in the right place. His mind wasn't right. Now, Morgan says she understands that, of course, you need somebody to talk to under a lot of stress, but says that it did hurt that it was just Justin again. Like he just kept on going back to Justin, and says that it was the same situation that, hurt the relationship in the beginning. And felt that, they had come a long way from the honeymoon. So, she says, like, basically she does understand him needing to talk to someone, but wishes that it just was not Justin every single time.
Well,
I don't know why. I wonder why it matters that it was Justin. Maybe because also with Alexis.
Sensitivity. A man like money. I'm just saying.
She's on something tonight, y'all. Ben feels that Justin did do him dirty because, he thought he was having a man-to-man conversation with him the whole time, and come to find out he was on speaker with Alexis listening in the background. So, he felt in some type of way. Look, I wonder if Ben thinks that Justin is fake for this. Kevin asked Morgan if she regrets not pausing for a second and coming back to one another. And she says no, she doesn't regret it. Ending things early. She said
no regrets. No regrets.
She says that she realized that Ben just wasn't her person. And she came into this looking for someone who was going to have her back, and feels that, she just didn't get that. Now, Ben says that he realized that he just wasn't ready for marriage, and he just needs to heal from the things in his past, like his inner child, and says that he was bullied growing up, and he's always had the feeling of not being enough, especially in the Asian culture. And he just really needs to heal from that before he's even ready for that. And feels that he was perpetuating his own ego and insecurities in his relationships. He didn't even say with Morgan. He said in his relationship. So he means before her too. Now, he says a month after they left the show, he reached out to her, to invite her to brunch. That's how you do it, Ben. Okay. That's how you do it, brunch. Get you every time, okay?
Only for Chanel. You got to invite me to dinner.
I want some brunch.
Lobster at that.
They got lobster at brunch. You had it at brunch. Don't even.
A lobster?
You did. Yeah, okay, act funny now. In her mac and cheese.
I guess.
Yeah, stop it. Uh-huh. So, he says that he just apologized again and let her know if there was anything that he said to make her feel like she wasn't good enough. He's sorry for that. And says, and she said like it felt amazing that, and that's the only thing that she wanted. And, she felt like in the, like basically, so I know Kevin brought up basically like, you already got an apology. Like, why is it such a big deal now? Why are you basically able to move forward now? And she says that during the show, during filming, she felt like he was just regurgitating what everyone else around him was telling him to say. And it wasn't a true apology. They were just telling him like why he should apologize and this is what you should say.
Right.
Basically, I apologize and I hurt you or whatever, but she felt like this one was really
you wrong.
What?
You did me wrong. I took you back.
Take me back. What? Okay. And she says that she just wanted to know that he understood the pain that she went through, and says it was huge for him to come back on his own without anyone telling him and give her an authentic apology. Now, Kevin asked, now that she got a heartfelt apology, could it ever repair their relationship? And she says she thinks that they just both know that they are not meant to be. They're good friends, but their romantic relationship is over. She says a couple months after filming, she moved from San Diego and put all her stuff in storage. And she has, she's going to Europe and then she has other trips planned. She also says that she's basically gonna be all over the place. She has been on some dates, but nothing so like super successful or serious. Now, Ben says that he took a job as a project engineer, so he's also been traveling. No dating because he's really just working on himself, but he does see marriage in his distant future. They both agree that it's in their distant future. Then brings out the emotional roller coaster that is Alexis and Justin. Kevin said that they also had an instant connection and asked what made them feel so comfortable with each other right off the bat. Alexis says that she was just happy to be married and they clicked. Kevin asked if they both meant it on their honeymoon when they said, I love you. Justin says that love for him is a choice. He chose to make the commitment that he wanted to love her, but feels that, he jumped the gun a little bit. Alexis says, she's gonna love. Basically, she walked out her door every day prepared to love, okay? And says she wasn't in love at the time, but she did feel love and she doesn't regret it. I feel like she downplayed that a lot. Kevin says he gets all the tea, okay? And there's a rumor that they consummated their marriage before the honeymoon, or I'm sorry, on the honeymoon. And Justin did confirm that they did consummate the marriage on the honeymoon. And Alexis says, that they tried. They dabbled in some adult things. I was like, what the fuck? That mean you and your wording and the way you say shit, okay? Now, Justin said in her eyes, it wasn't long. But in his eyes, he penetrated. So it's whatever you want to call it. Just sex.
What he put? Oh,
okay. Basically, I guess she was saying like it didn't count because it wasn't long. Like it wasn't a long time. It wasn't long. But he's saying, look, I went in.
The semantics of it.
And he's like, I went in. So we fucked. We had sex. And Justin is right. And basically tells her, that she orgasmed, or at least she sounded like she orgasmed. And he says that he did. And, she says, if that's the story that you want to go with, I said, oh. She was like, that's fine, but says, he asked her not to say anything. So she protected her husband and didn't say anything. And said at the end, he was like, I'm gonna tell your secret that you told me not to, that like basically like he told her not to tell anybody, and felt that he was being manipulative and malicious, and says that he brought her in on the lie. And basically, you know, he's like, okay, but you still lied. Like, it was your choice. He was like, it was your choice to keep the secret. And, you know, basically, you know, says that he was under the impression when she had her one-on-ones and her OTFs, he was under the impression that, you know, she wasn't, like, she was talking good about him. Like, she would say, like, yeah, I was talking good about you, da da da. But he was like, but then when I went back and watched it, you threw shade at every chance you could. I was like, oh, listen, Justin did not come to play today. Okay. He
said, I came on petty and ready.
For real. Now, Kevin brings up the argument that they had going like right after decision day and asks if they're still together. They both confirm that they're not. Justin says that it's his choice. And, you know, he's like, yeah, because, you know, I think I'm the one that broke it off. She was like, no, it's not at all. It was not your choice. Alexis says decision day and the day after was rough. You know, she couldn't take anymore. She says that she didn't have any hope for any semblance of a relationship and felt like she wasn't free. And she's a very free-spirited individual. She says, you know, like they can still try and be friends. And he said, friends don't call friends each other. Friends don't call each other drunk, basically in the middle of the night. And he was like, you know, she just can't be truthful. He can't deal with it. He feels like it's ridiculous. Alexis says that she has nothing to hide and she just wants it to be done. And basically, she just wants to be free. And Justin basically tells her that he's trying to gaslight him and says that he allowed it for the longest. And now she's doing it again and trying to manipulate the truth. And tells her she came on to him back in his apartment one night that she left the club drunk. And she said that never happened. She never came on to him. And basically, you know, he tells her that she's a compulsive liar. And I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to get to the nitty gritty because I do believe you, Justin. So far, what you said has been the truth. Even the shit with what's his face?
Nate.
With Nate. Nate clarified what happened, but when he initially said it, was like, damn, did that really happen? Like it might have been a lie, but it wasn't. And I do believe that she came to your house, drunk as fuck, tried to come on to you.
Said drunk
and love. Let me say something. And Alexis is like, no, I never went to your house. That never happened. Bullshit. Just like you tried to deny that you even had sex on a honeymoon. She's like, oh, you want me to keep that secret? Okay, no problem. I got you. It never happened. But of course, it's to be continued.
Thank you guys for tuning in to.
She's so loud. Like right now, busting my ears off. Jesus Christ.
You know what? This is why we can't work together. God. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to another review of Married at First Sight Reunion. This is part one, and we will be back for part two. But all of our stuff is going off the air, y'all. But we will be back, just letting you know. We will be going live for Power season 3 of Ghost. So we will get back to y'all, set a time every Sunday night. Come join us, and we will discuss the episodes, what's going down, the nitty and the gritty. But yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'd appreciate support. We love you. Please make sure if you haven't already that you like, comment, you subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we will catch y'all next week for part 2 of the reunion. Mwah. Have a good night. Good night.